And we got this other thing that's also been working for a long time where you don't have to be racist anymore. It's called self-hate. It works on itself. It's like real estate of racism. Where, just like that, when someone comes up and says something like, I am a god, everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god.
I just told you. That's who I think I am.
Only real danger that exists is man himself. He is the great danger. And we are pitifully unaware of it. We know nothing of man. Far too little. His psyche should be studied because we are the origin of all coming evil. To church on Sunday.
And did you believe in God?
Oh, yes.
Do you now believe in God?
Now? Difficult to answer. I know. I don't need to believe. I know.
I searched for God and found only myself. I searched for myself and I found only God.
Would it have been better if I had a song that said, I am a nigga? Or if I had a song that said, I'm a gangster? Or if I had a song that said, I am a pimp? All those colors and patinas fit better on a person like me, right? But to say you are a god, especially when you got shipped over to the country that you're in and your last name is a slave owner's. How could you say that? How could you have that mentality?
You know, just because you have the melanin doesn't make you a royal being, because you have to lift your vibration to the level to activate the melanin. There's more black peasants than there are black royalty. So you have to lift your vibration to the level to activate the melanin in order for it to be vibrant. Energy, everything vibrates. Everything vibrates. Your table vibrates. But the more slow it vibrates, the more solid it is. The more vibrant it is, the more etheric it is. So from one end to the opposite end. So we have to tap into the highest vibration. They even expose this in the movie The Matrix. I think that's one of the best movies to demonstrate a lot of these qualities, because they demonstrated this with the Nebuchadnezzar. And remember, when it was sitting still, they were vulnerable. They would be attacked, you know. They had to turn that vibration up. They had to hit that button, be in movement. They had to open up that vibrant vibration in order to repel the attack.
Power offline. EMP armed. And ready. EMP.
Electromagnetic pulse. Disables any electrical system in the blast radius. It's the only weapon we have against the machines.
So the higher you go up, the faster your vibration, and the more you are protected, the less they can have access to you. So they have to pull you down to their level in order to make you vulnerable to attack.
Say that again. Love is life organically, vibrating effortlessly. It just is. It's in the business of isness right now. It can't live tomorrow. It can't live yesterday. It has to live right now, to now. You see, so in this particular moment, if you can feel the actual love, you see what I'm saying? You become a co-creator. But a lot of people don't really have the vibration of love truly, because they haven't been taught it. Because, you know, folks were taught the language when you were growing up. You were taught the language of fear mostly, you see. And what happens is we were taught how to breathe and become constricted in our breath. As soon as they slapped your ass as a baby, you know what I'm saying? You're breathing wrong. You're breathing backwards. So this creates constriction. Once you have constriction, right, this restriction creates a type of survival. When you're in survival mode, you know, you're in an actual type of suffering. And then your parents talked about how hard it was going to be, how tough it was going to be. It's going to be tough to find somebody that really loves you. It's going to be hard to get a job and keep a job. It's going to be hard, Brother Black Magic, for you to have a television show and be all over the world with over 500,000 people. You know, arch degree. It's how you just going to, you didn't go to school for blah, blah, blah to learn about such and such. You need to just go be a regular doctor and learn how to cut people wide open and give them drugs. You see, people got all this stuff they put on you. You see, and what happens is that energy, right, becomes epigenetic. Right? It's an epigenetic vibration, which is a fear-based, right, source. Fear, because you're afraid for your children. I want my child to succeed. And when we talk about love, you know, we can't mention the things we do not desire. So I was talking to somebody and they were talking about love and they were saying all the things they didn't want. Well, I have to protect myself because, you know, you could get hurt out there and I've had my heart broken. But they never got down to what the real goal is for them because they were dragging fear with them. And see, fear is interesting because fear is like artificial intelligence. See, people talk about artificial intelligence. They tie it to these computers. No, artificial intelligence has been around a long time. It's when your parents told you certain things and gave you certain fairy tales and stories and analogies that were not based on you being at peak performance. Because a lot of parents didn't have the idea, they didn't have the notion of how to make you become the genius that you are. They buried your genius. They want you to fit in. You was left-handed, they made you right-handed. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I came home from algebra with an F, my father was upset. I said, why are you upset? I got an F. That means I'm free. I ain't got to go to algebra no more because I can't get it. It ain't got nothing to do with the 6/8 rhythm that I need to play when I'm playing music. I don't hear it on the conga drums. You know, by the way, I'm still on that punishment. 16 years old. My father never let me off that punishment because I was breaking the law. I was in jazz mode. So fear creates a feedback loop. Check this out. That ensures its own survival. We a lot of times take that into the love place. We take that into the business place. We making herbs. And if you're coming in there with fear and you're trying to compete with the next herbalist, people call me every day. In fact, today, 3 people asked me, how did my herbs compare to blah, blah, blahs? First of all, I've never tried their herbs. I don't know. You know, ever since I got into this, I've been doing my own stuff. There's probably 3 people that I've tried their products. 3. And I'm going to try this, you know, stingless bee, because my man, you know, he got the special bee hairdo. My name is B. So we're going to do some work together. He even got the bee glasses. I like them. I need to get some glasses like that. So, you know, let's make sure we get some of the stingless bee honey. But when you realize that fear is afraid of itself. It's afraid of its own self-destruction. So fear creates more fear. It becomes an egregor. It becomes a being. When we get out of that and we find actual love, and love has to do with first learning to breathe. When we're in constriction, we're not breathing. We're not breathing a whole breath. And if you're not breathing a whole breath, then your heartbeat is not beating a whole beat. So that's why a lot of people's heartbeat is off. It's boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. It's not beating evenly enough because they're not breathing enough. They're constricted in their diaphragm. And once you're constricted, right, you get this tightness around the abdomen. All the waters in your body, right, detect that there's a problem. There's a problem. There's a problem out there because your cells are listening to the environment. Your genes are listening to the environment. They're not programmed in of themselves. They're listening to the epigenetic information that comes with them. So if you're in that place and you're walking into this new relating and you're on this date and you're thinking about all the bad things and you're in judgment, I don't know, look like the shoes ain't shined enough. Oh man, he's into that consciousness. Our last person I was with who was into that conscious stuff. We start thinking of all the bad things that could happen and we create a solution. A solution is like a liquid plasma, right? That you're creating based on your own mindset. So once we can get into that in a few minutes, the difference between love and fear, because what a lot of people are calling love is fear, and they have an inferiority complex in this, what they're calling love.